Hi, my friends. This is Ken Renner, real estate broker here in the North Austin, Liberty Hill area. And I just wanted to take a moment to give you a little bit update, exciting things happening in the real estate market. Number one is the interest rates look like they're almost guaranteed to be coming down here in the well, the Feds are meeting next week and they're going to be talking about lowering those rates probably a quarter to 0.5%. Of course, it doesn't always correlate to the mortgage rates. This did happen last September when the Fed started easing the rates, but it was short-lived, unfortunately, and the mortgage market really didn't respond as well. And then the Feds kind of took their foot off the gas pedal when it came to lowering and cutting rates. But now it's we're back at it. We're going to bring more buyers back into the market, but we're also going to probably see a lot more sellers re-entering the market as a lot of sellers just gave up trying to sell their homes in this market, at least in Austin. Our other markets, our submarkets, New Braunfels, San Antonio, Temple, Texas, and now we're working the North Dallas market, putting together my team up there in McKinney area and North Plano, all in that area. A very similar market to the tech market of Austin. Just a lot of activity going up there, and I'll be sharing that in future presentations. I do have a presentation coming up on my turnkey investment properties here, great for 1031 exchanges or for those that want to get started but don't want to have, it'll be basically no vacancy from the beginning, already turnkey rented property. We're still selling some really nice new properties. We also want to share with you some details on what we'll be covering on September 23rd at 2 p.m. Central Time and noon Pacific time. So if you're in the Bay Area or Southern California, you can do a lunch and learn with me. That'd be great. And it'll be a webinar when you'll be able to do some Q&A on as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll talk about the opportunities that we're helping our clients, including our past clients and our current clients, um, is to is the new builds obviously is where we cut our teeth on. So really, I've been selling new builds for both owners and non-owner occupants, investors, and thing that for decades. And so just love the new builder market. And so the advantages of new, obviously, that we've all been playing into, and I'm one of them, is that everything's new and everything's under warranty. The prices can be lower than resale. And in fact, this is the first time in history, for at least 40, 50 years, that we've actually seen that the new homes are going at a less price than resales. And it's also causing some trouble with the resale market because builders have to sell, they're motivated sellers. Builders pay a percentage of the closing costs, small or large amount, it just depends on each one. And they offer the builder funded financing, which is somewhere between right now 5.25% or thereabouts, which is really also incredible. So, but and the new home values intend to increase, over the course of the build out of the community. And the tenants and property managers love new homes, and that's one of the things that we found that people really do like to have something that's well, it's like driving a new car, right? So tenants love it, and of course the property managers have a lot less maintenance, and there's a lot less cost in maintenance in a new construction home. Um, some of the challenges that we're running into, obviously that we deal with on new construction is that you're going to be buying into a construction zone. The whole street may be having being worked on at the same time. Fortunately, it's only temporary. It's only a couple months that'll be like that, and then it'll look like a brand new street. But in the meantime, you got to deal with that whole, the deal with the construction and people, the tenants are like, oh, I don't know if I want to deal with it when there's other opportunities that are not in the middle of a construction zone. So that's one of the things. Also, additional setup costs. On some of our homes, most of our more entry-level homes, they don't come with sprinklers and extra things like blinds, which are necessary, and refrigerator and garage door openers. Um, these things that you have to add. It's usually between $6,000 and $10,000 in extra money. Some of them, like our Temple properties, come 100% fully. Everything's included. Vacancy usually, so you're going to plan on usually 2 to 4 week vacancy time frame is normal usually. So plan on about a month of vacancy. Um, and then your leasing fees are another 70, 90% of the first month's rent. So you've got some expenses up front, not only with the additional setup costs, the vacancy, the leasing fee. And then also when you're buying in a new neighborhood, you want to make sure that we stay away from, I'm very careful about staying away from areas where there's too many investors in there already. In other words, if it's blighted with investors and there's for rent signs everywhere, that's not where we're going to invest. And then, of course, the infrastructure is still being developed. So we're looking at, you still got the roads are being put in, the schools are being built or planned, shopping centers, the strip malls and all that. That's one of the things that we have to wait for the completion during a new construction of a community. So our turnkeys are basically properties that are less than 10 years old, that were purchased as probably new construction, like many of the properties that I own. And we've got tenants in place. And some of our sellers want to sell or need to sell. Some of them maybe have a family member with a medical emergency or things like that, or maybe we have a doctor that wants to send his kid to Stanford. So some always reasons. When I've sold over 500 houses in the last 5 years to people all over the United States, they all have different reasons for wanting to sell. And so they've got this nice property. It's already fixed up. There's no the tenants are in place. No vacancy, no leasing fees. So there's no vacancy downtime, no leasing fees. They're already managed and in operation. So that makes it easy. It's just basically that's what we call it, turnkey. The manager's already in place. We also have the upgrades are already in place, like the irrigation, blinds, garage door openers. Usually those are already all included. Prices, like I said, can be lower than the new builds. We've got several examples where we're selling homes now that are less than what the new builds are building for. And then we're also, these homes are located in developed, established communities that, they've got everything in it. The schools are there, the strip malls are there, everything is there. So, that's another good opportunity. It's already tried and true, so to speak. And then the interest rates. Now, sellers can pay 2% on an investment property. An owner can pay 2% of the buyer's closing costs. But we're seeing that because you don't have to pay the extra $6,000 to $10,000 in additional upfront money to do the irrigation and all those kinds of things, that the buyers will pay 2 points, but we can also lower our price by a couple points and offer that the buyer can pay the additional points to get the interest rate right now for about 2 points paid by me and 1 point paid by the buyer. You're looking probably around 5.625% interest rate on a rental property. So that's becoming almost as competitive as the new builder incentives, and also you have an actually turnkey operation. So challenges with the turnkey homes, they're usually older. Most of mine that we have from clients that are ready to sell are between 5 and 10 years old. Some less than that. But nothing, we don't really have any over 10 years. And they may or may not be under warranty. The builder's warranty carries for 10 years. There's going to be normal wear and tear, so you're not buying a new property. And the buying and closing process may be a little more complicated because you have a tenant in place. And that's a good thing. We want to keep the tenant happy. We want them to stay. So that's basically some of the challenges. Other than that, it's really pretty a no-brainer. Lower than builder prices on some of these turnkeys. They're already rent managed, maintained. They already have income coming in from day one. So, like for instance, I have a house on Stonehaven, 5711 Stonehaven. That's 137,000. That's rented for 1795. Those numbers work really well. We have another one in the New Braunfels area that's 189 right now. It's leased for 1450. It's not even a year old. It's actually quite a bit lower than what the buyer paid for it because he needs to liquidate. So we have these opportunities. I want to share that with you, and get re-engaged if you're interested in taking advantage of the fact that the rates are going to be coming down. We have new fiscal quarters starting for some of these larger builders that are offering these big discounts coming in the next several weeks. And then we have our turnkey properties that are ready to go, up and running, managed income from day one. So attend my seminar or my webinar on the 23rd of September. It'll be a Zoom webinar, and I'll be sending out invitations on that as well, and you'll get one in this email as well. So I hope to see you on the 23rd, or even better yet, sooner. Reach out to me. Let me know when a good time to chat with you is. 512-423-5626. I look forward to see you at the top. Okay. Have a great day.